Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my October wrap-up. So I did not manage to read as many books as I hoped to read in October. It was quite the busy month for me. I know. I feel like every month it's like it comes to wrap-up time and I'm here being like, yeah, I wanted to read more, but I didn't. And this month is just the same as the other ones. So yeah, I only managed to read 3.5 books, which is not the most amazing for a booktuber who is like, I'm trying to show you guys that like my channel is like all about books. I do love books. I just have been struggling to get through a lot of books lately because life has been really busy. But a lot of things have been in the works, which is really also very cool. I have been planning a lot this month for a certain readathon that I know a lot of you guys are very interested in. And so that is coming up very soon. Keep your eyes out for that because the announcement should be coming out next week. So yeah, I'm very excited. I have also been editing for an author that is a friend of mine. So I've been working on that as well, which has been taking a lot of my time. So there's that. And then of course, I'm also addicted to reality TV. So like Love is Blind came out and Marcus and I have been binging that. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys watch Love is Blind because I got some thoughts about that show. Also, I want you guys to see my shirt because I love this shirt. So this is my Joker shirt. I might have shown it off before, but like, I don't know. I think it's super cool. It has like all the different Jokers on it. I got this in like a random t-shirt like grab bag thing years ago. I think this was in college. And it was like you paid $6 and got a random shirt. And this is the one I got. I was so excited because like it's such a cool shirt. Anyways, so let's get into it. Enough of my rambling. We can jump into the actual wrap up. So the first book I read at the beginning of the month was That Weekend. This was a book that I had on my NetGalley TBR. And so I think I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a fun thriller. It was a very interesting setup for the beginning. So the way it starts is your main character wakes up on a mountain. She does not remember how she got here. The last thing she remembers is going out to her friend's cottage to spend the weekend instead of going to prom. So they went out to the cottage. That's the last thing she remembers is like being at the cottage. And then she's waking up on the mountainside with like a massive headache, probably a concussion, all like disoriented. And so her friends are also missing and she has to figure out like kind of what happened. So it goes from there. I thought it was really like I had so many different theories going on while I was reading this book on what happened to her friends and what happened to her. And it was like I found it was very intense in regards to like everything was happening very quickly. The main character was finding out things as they went, and it was like a very fast-paced book, which I really enjoyed. I also liked that it kind of like separated perspectives, so you got to see like this main character and their disorientation, and then you got to see other characters and how they were like viewing the situation and other characters like in the situation. It was cool to like have it all kind of like come together at the end. So yeah, that was cool. The book does deal with some harder topics, so like just know going into it that there will be some stuff come up. I mean, it is a thriller, so like generally in thrillers there are harder topics that you're going to be dealing with. But yeah, just know in this one that there definitely is. So be aware of that. I don't know if the author has trigger warnings on like the book information and stuff, but you could look into that if you do decide to read this one. But overall, like I did enjoy it as like an isolated, well, it wasn't fully an isolated setting, but there were bits and pieces of it that were isolated setting, which were fun for me. And yeah, I liked puzzling along with it, trying to figure out what happened to these characters. And yeah, it was just like a fun, like satisfying puzzle to put together by the end. I just had a good time with it, and I would definitely read more by this author. Then I read Clown in a Cornfield 2. I actually asked my patrons from my Patreon page which one I should pick up out of like my 3 that I was really excited about, and they chose Clown in a Cornfield 2. And boy oh boy am I glad that they chose this book because I had so much fun with it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It felt just like I was diving right back into that like 80s slasher horror flick movie, and it was like the sequel. Like picture Scream and then jumping right into Scream 2. That's how I felt. It was such a fun time. There was so many like aspects of this book that like just pulled from like those 80s style movies, and so like I enjoyed that. And I like that in this one the characters are more or less like the kind of characters from the movies where they're like, we've been through some stuff and we're more prepared for it now, and we're gonna fight back. We're not gonna be taken unawares and hurt like that. Like, no, we've had enough. That's kind of like the attitude that we got in this one, and I loved it. I was so here for it because that plays off like my favorite trope of like a badass character coming in from the beginning and just like, let's do this. I really like those kind of characters. A lot of characters that like I've read in young adult books where they have like character development and they turn into a complete badass. Like, you have the characters that like they have a hint of badass and it's there, they just need to get there. And then in this book it's like they got there and they are there and consistently there through the whole book. So yeah, I had a really good time with it. I enjoyed seeing where they continued along this plot and like what they did with a lot of the questions that were unanswered in the first book. So it was a really good culmination of that. And yeah, I would definitely recommend this to you guys. For those of you that don't know what Clown in a Cornfield is, it's essentially like a horror story. So it's a bunch of kids go out to this like barn / cornfield party. They all live in a small town and murderous clowns show up and start killing them in the cornfields. So yeah, it's an intense like slasher book and it was so much fun, and I'm really glad that I read this one. I also heard that this is actually being turned into a movie, so that is even more exciting because like I can already picture this book as a movie in my head, and now I'm gonna get it in an actual movie format. So I am very excited. Like, I will be going to see this movie as soon as it comes out, and yeah, I'm pumped. But yeah, that one, 5 out of 5 stars. Then the last book I read this month, I actually listened to it on audiobook, and that was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this is the nonfiction book I was referring to in my previous video. I listened to this while I was doing lots of trips back and forth to Toronto, and I was really caught off guard because I don't normally enjoy nonfictions, but this one just delved so deep into Jeanette's life and all the things that she went through as a child, and like the abuse that she went through. And it was just like, it was mind-boggling that somebody that put on this face of like the characters that they played on TV was actually hurting so much and going through all these things while being this like TV persona. I've also never actually watched iCarly. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of the show iCarly here and there, but like I've never watched the show fully or watched a full episode through. But I like know of the characters and I know of like different things that they've been in aside from that. But yeah, like I haven't watched too much in regards to like the actual show. So I didn't have like the full context from that, but like just different things that you learned in this kind of like memoir was really intense. Like it got into some really intense stuff. It also shined a light on like the production industry and like the media industry. I guess it's entertainment industry. It shined a light on that and showed like a lot of things that like we don't know as consumers of the entertainment, what's actually like happening. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of sketchy happening in that world as well. But yeah, this book was just like really much like a eye-opener, and it made me interested to read like more memoirs from other people, which is why I would be more interested to read the one by Matthew Perry that's coming out this month. Because yeah, like I don't know, maybe I found that like for nonfiction I need to read like celebrity memoirs. Maybe that's like the nonfiction genre that I enjoy. But I did enjoy this one, and I gave her book a 4 out of 5 stars. It was very, I wouldn't say entertaining because it's like a lot of hard topics, but it kept me pulled in and like wanting to hear more about like her life. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. And then I started Blood Like Magic. I did not get to finish it yet. I'm about halfway through it currently, and I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, I'm having a great time with this book. You guys heard me read the first sentence of the book in a couple videos back, And like, I will say that that sentence hooked me and pulled me in and kept me invested. So it's kind of like on the side burner right now just because I'm trying to finish editing the book that I'm currently working on for that author. But as soon as that's done, I'm diving right back into that book and I'm going to finish it because it is good. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I hope it stays like at this consistent high to the end. We'll see what happens, but like so far I am really enjoying it. So yeah, I only managed to read 3.5 books this month. Wasn't amazing, but I'm hoping to read more in November. So we'll see. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite book was that you read in October, because I always love to hear what everybody else read and what was their favorites. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Until next time, keep on reading.